Okay, students, chapter 1, exercise 1.4. But before discussing exercise 1.4, I would like to discuss process of successive magnification. Why we need successive magnification? Magnification, or we can say expansion of numbers. Actually, we need magnification because to represent numbers like this on number line. Numbers like 5.3777, for example, that means numbers having 4 or 5 digits after decimal. When we have to represent such kind of decimal numbers on the number line, we need successive magnification. With the help of magnification, we put the values step by step and we find our number. For example, 5.37777 or 5.37 bar. We have to visualize the representation of 5.37 bar on the number line up to 5 decimal places. Okay, so let us consider this example. First of all, we know that your 5.37777, whatever it is between 5 and 6 definitely. 5.3, your number 5.3 is definitely between 5 and 6. So first of all, we will make a number line, and in this way we will represent this 5.3 between 5 and 6. How we are representing this? 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, 5.4, 5.5, 5.6 like this. And our required number is 5.3. The next, that is 5.37. Now 5.37. 5.37 will be definitely between 5.30 and 5.40. We can write like this: 5.31, 5.32, 5.33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39 like this. And here is our number 5.37. The very next number is 5.377. Definitely our number 5.377 is between 5.370 and 5.380. 5.370, 5.371, 5.372, 373, 374, 75, 76, 377, then 378, and similarly 5.38. So our number 5.377 is between 5.37 and 5.38. The next, 5.3777. Here the number is between 5.370 and 5.378. 5.3771, 772, 773, similarly 777. And the last 5.378. In this way, we can visualize the number step by step. First step between 5 to 6, the next step between 5.3 to 5.4, the very next step 5.37 to 5.38, and the last 5.377 to 5.378, and so on. And hence we obtained the magnification of 5.37777. Okay, exercise 1.4, chapter 1. The very first question: visualize 3.765 on the number line using successive magnification. This question is just like that example we have discussed above. Here we have 3 digits after decimal place, and we need to represent it on the number line with expansion, with magnification process. Okay, let's see the very first part, that is 3.7. If we consider 3.7, we know that 3.7 is between 3 and 4. Definitely between 3 and 4. So first of all we will make a number line. I'll make it 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and here is our number 3.7, definitely between 3 and 4. The next number, the next required part is 3.76. 3.76 will be definitely between 3.7 and 3.8. 3.7 and 3.8 like this. 3.0, 3.1, 3.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9 and your 4. So our required number, that is 3.76, is between 3.7 and 3.8. And our last required number, that is 3.765. 3.765. Think over it. 3.765 will be between 3.70 and 3.80. Consider it. 3.71, 3.72, 3.73, 3.74, 75, 76, 77 and 78 and just like that 3.80. So our required number will be between 3.76 and 3.77. 3.76, 3.77. And the last step we will make 3.760, 761, 762, 763, 764, 765, which is between 76 and 77. 760 and 770. 76 and 77. 3.760 to 3.770. We have find out our required number, that is 3.765. It means we have expanded the number from the whole number 3, 4, then 3.1, 3.2, that is 3.7, 3.8, then 3.71 up to 3.78, then 3.761 up to 3.770 and the very last 3.765 is our required number. Question number 2 is homework for you in exercise 1.4. Students, chapter 1, exercise 1.5. The very first question is, classify the following numbers as rational or irrational. The first part is 2 minus root 5. Here 2 minus root 5. 1 is rational number while root 5 is irrational number. And subtraction between one rational number and one irrational number could not be possible. Therefore, the irrational number will be remain as it is, and hence the final answer is irrational number. But in next case, second question, 3 plus root 23 minus root 23. On solving this question, by opening the bracket, we will have 3 plus root 23 minus root 23. Where plus root 23 and minus root 23 both are the same number but signs are different, and hence we can cut them. And therefore only 3 will remain, and hence 3 is a rational number. The next part, 2 root 7 upon 7 root 7. Here root 7 upon root 7. In numerator and denominator both are having root 7 and we can cut them. The last answer will be 2 upon 7, which is a rational number. The very next, fourth part, that is 1 upon root 2. Here in the fraction, in the denominator, irrational number is there, root 2. And there is no method to solve such kind of question. Hence, the irrational number will be as it is. On dividing, we will get again an irrational number. Hence, the final answer will be an irrational number. The last one is 2 pi. We know that pi is an irrational number, and multiplying any number to an irrational number, we get only irrational number. Hence, the final answer will be irrational number. The second question, simplify each of the following expressions. We have to simplify some easy expressions. The first is 3 plus root 3 and 2 plus root 2. These four things are different numbers. So we will have to solve by opening their brackets. The very first part is 3 will be multiplied to 2 plus root 2, and then the plus sign will be between them, and root 3 will again multiply to 2 plus root 2 individually. Hence 3 into 2 on opening the bracket, 3 into 2 which is equal to 6, but 3 into root 2 is equal to 3 root 2. Similarly, on opening this bracket, we will get root 3 into 2 which is 2 root 3, and root 3 into root 2, root 3 and root 2 are two different numbers, and we can write under one bracket, under one root only, 3 into 2, that is equal to 6. So we can write root 3 into root 2 is root 6. In the next step, the simplification is 6 plus 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3 plus root 6. This is the final answer. We cannot solve this kind of expression more than this. Exercise 1.5, question number 2. Second part. 3 plus root 3, 3 minus root 3. We know that this is one of the identity we have discussed in earlier classes. Let us consider 3 as A and root 3 as B. So it will be A plus B, A minus B, which is equal to A square minus B square. Hence we can write 3 plus root 3, 3 minus root 3 will be equal to A square minus B square, or 3 square minus root 3 square, where 3 square is 9 and root 3 square is only 3. Root 3 into root 3 will be equal to 3 only. And the answer will be 9 minus 3, which is equal to 6. Now question number 2, part 3 and 4 is homework for you. Now question number 3, exercise 1.5, question number 3. Recall pi is defined as the ratio of circumference of a circle to its diameter. Hence pi is equal to C upon D. This seems to contradict the fact that pi is irrational. Now try to solve this contradiction. Okay, let us consider. We know that what is circumference of a circle? Circumference of a circle is boundary. That is 2 pi r. The formula for circumference is C is equal to 2 pi r, where 2 into radius is equal to d, that means diameter of a circle, and we can also write C is equal to pi d. This is another formula for finding circumference. Or we can write pi is equal to C upon d. This pi multiplied by d, and pi is equal to d will be here in fraction. Pi is equal to C upon d. But we know that pi is an irrational number. So do you think so that C and D both are also irrational number? Yes, according to me, they may be irrational. When we measure this C or diameter or any radius with the help of scale or any other equipment tool, so many times we use, the answer is 4.3, 2.8, but on magnifying it, we will find that the answer is endless. The answer may be 3.248967. So it may be C and D both are irrational. And hence there is no contradiction in this answer, that if pi is irrational, C or D can also be irrational numbers.